So let me ask you a question. When you go into one of your favorite fashion stores, or if you're just shopping around in the mall and you walk into the store, when the salespeople come up to you and say, "Welcome to XYZ store," and they begin to talk to you about some of the things that are going on in the store, sales, promotions, all of those things, how do you feel? Do you really engage with them or want to engage with them? Or would you just rather walk into the store and look around and not be bothered? Well, today we're going to talk about the selling process, the personal selling. So come on to the room. Let's get this conversation started. You're listening to Marketing Adventure, the hub for business, fashion, marketing, and other CTE educators who integrate marketing into the learning experience. I'm your host, Jackie Walker. Each week, I'll cover marketing education concepts, strategies, tips, trends, frameworks, and other information to equip you to connect your classroom to digital natives while cultivating an engaged learning environment. So come on into the room where your favorite beverage, snacks, and even your cell phone are all welcome. As I stated before, we are going to talk about selling, personal selling. It is one of the 7 elements of the promotional mix that we're going over in this whole promotional mix series. So, what is selling? Well, selling actually falls into one of the 7 functions of marketing. And as I stated before, it's one of the 7 elements of the promotional mix. Now, when we talk about selling as a marketing function, the functions of marketing, I want you to think of those as actions. These are the actions that a company must take in order for its operations to be successful. So I haven't talked about the functions of marketing here on the podcast, but best believe that's coming in the future. And there are, like I said, 7 functions of marketing. So selling is just one of them. And when you think about selling as an action, it's the process that a company implements to make a personal connection with the customer throughout the whole selling process. It's the sales personnel in the store. It's, everyone who's involved in helping a customer make a decision. For a company to have a successful selling process, they need to have a documented process that each salesperson, management person knows, and they should implement that each and every time a customer comes into their environment. Now that we know selling is a process, an action that's a part of the whole company's marketing concept, let's look at selling from the promotional mix perspective. So selling is one of those elements that a company has to look at as far as what they're going to do to complete the promotional cycle for their company. Now, with the promotional mix, that varies by seasons, by promotional campaigns that are going on. So that's going to change continuously. And so selling within that promotional element, as a promotional element to the promotional mix, is going to change. It's going to be adapted to that particular season. So during Valentine's, things look different when you're selling to your customers than it does for back to school. So you're going to have specific things that your personnel are going to do to engage the customer and get them to make a purchase. So when there's a new product that comes out, selling looks different than it does, when you're just talking about, we're having just this 25% off sale on sweaters or what have you. So throughout the year, the engagement with the customer is going to be there, but the selling aspect is going to differ based on the season. The process itself doesn't change. It's what you do within that process, what you say, how you present it, all of those things. Your salespeople may have a script that they have to remember to say to the customer. If there's a particular promotion going on, you want to include those key elements, those key things that will hook the customer. So that's what the whole selling process does, is it allows the personnel on the sales personnel to connect with the customer and make sure that the customer is aware of various promotional things that are going on, and also that they're getting a personable connection with the customer, so that the customer can feel comfortable and engaged and more likely to make a purchase. Now, I've told you what selling is from the marketing function and the promotional mix perspective, but I do want to let you know, and what we're going to be covering over this next 7 episodes is what all is involved in the selling process. So we will talk about 8 various steps within the selling process. These are steps that the sales personnel should go through the cycle of steps, and it's going to vary from company to company, because at any step, a company can, have an extended amount of time they spend with a particular step, whereas another company may not even really focus that much or even skip over that particular step in the selling process. But we're going to cover 8 steps. We're going to talk about engagement, determining the wants and the needs of the customer, showcasing the features and the benefits of the product or service, providing a solution to the customer, and then closing that sale. Everybody wants to do that one, close that sale. And then we're going to talk about upselling, confirmation, and then retention. So today we will be focused on engagement. Now, engagement is number one because when that customer crosses the threshold of your store, whether that be in person at a brick and mortar or whether it be online, there has to be an immediate engagement with that customer so that you don't lose them and you want to hook them and bring them in. So with the engagement process, it involves an approach. And with selling, there are 3 approaches to engaging the customer. One is greeting, one is merchandise, and one is service. The first approach is greeting approach. This is the most commonly used approach to engage a customer. It is when you introduce yourself as the salesperson and you welcome the customer to the store. Now, during this engagement, the salesperson can go ahead and tell the customer about a special event that's going on. It could be, "Hi, my name is Jackie. Welcome to Marketing Adventure. Today in our store, we're having 50% off store-wide. So if you need any assistance with anything, just let me know." Again, the greeting approach is the simplest approach and the one that's most used by companies and brands all over. It really doesn't get into the details of the selling process, but it definitely is the one thing that you want to have your personnel to do, because if you don't greet your customers within the first 30 seconds that they touch foot into the store, it could be a turnoff. It could be, they may think that they're not interested in who I am. They don't want my money. And so I can just go to the next store that sells the same thing and get more attention there. So I know that when I walk into a store, I want to be greeted. Number one, I do want the greeting approach, but I generally like to walk around and not be bothered. So people feel different ways about that. Some people want that really high personal touch. And hey, that's what companies have to consider. They have to think about who their customer is and how they're going to engage them. Alrighty, so the second type of approach is merchandise approach. Now, this is when the customer's already picked up an item. They're already looked at a particular, they may have stopped at a particular table, say a table of jeans, and they are looking at them and checking them out, looking at what they're all about. They could be looking at what the price is or what have you, but this is when you would engage the customer, and you can tell them about the promotion that's going on. You can also ask them, are they looking for particular colors or styles, and what the occasion may be. You also can inform them about, reviews about that product, things that other people have said about the product. Maybe that there's limited availability. It's just things that you would engage them on. Just let them know about that particular product that they're looking at. So the merchandise approach really just helps you to get into the conversation over the actual product and really pique the interest of the customer, because maybe you're introducing at that time some things that they really didn't know, or you may be introducing something that would entice them to want to make the purchase, because maybe they didn't know that they were on sale, maybe they didn't know that this is a popular item, or they didn't know that this item serves, you point out benefits and features of the item. Maybe they didn't know about some of those features or the benefit of, 100% cotton, or the stability and sturdiness of the product, or what have you. So you begin to point out those benefits and features, and you pique their interest, like I said, and make them start thinking about the purchase of that particular product. Now, the third type of approach is the service approach. Now, this is the least effective of the approaches because the customer's already made a decision. They've already picked up their items or walking around the store looking at other things. So at this point in time, you can ask them, do they want to try it on? That's one of the things you could ask them, because they've already have it in their hand and are walking around. Or you can ask them, can I take this to the register for you for checkout? You offer them help during this process, and it could be a yes or a no, or sure, I'd like for you to take this item off of my hand. At this time, you may want to start asking open-ended questions to allow them to give you more information about their purchase or their potential purchasing reason. So by asking these open-ended questions, you're allowing the customer to, not evade being assisted. So you want to engage them just to see where they are, what they need, and to help them finalize that purchase. So that is the service approach. You're offering your services at that point in time. So that completes step one of the selling process. It's engagement. And again, those three different engagement approaches are greeting approach, merchandise approach, and service approach. Now, next week, we're going to be talking about buying motives. So get ready for that one. Come on back to Marketing Adventure with Jackie. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to chatting with you next week. Have a wonderfully blessed day. Thanks for listening to Marketing Adventure. Remember to subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode with someone you think would benefit from the information shared here today. If you have any questions or want to connect with me, find me on Instagram at Marketing Adventure. All links and resources discussed in this episode can be found in the show notes at marketingadventure.com.